Today I wanted to put some meat on the skewers, and I decided to cook it over the fire. Quickly realized that my fire pit looks kind of weird. Super rusty. I mean, there's like all sorts of lizards on it. And in Florida, a lot of these fireplaces get rusted pretty quickly because we do have that ocean wind blowing some salt. Anyways, I decided to go to Lowe's to grab a new fire pit. This is my boy Zach. He's helping me push this cart that has our fire pit on it. And as you can notice, there is also a firewood that we bought, and we got a great deal on it.
I would say about 15 to 20 pounds. Fits it perfectly.
Obviously, just like any other fireplace, this thing does not come assembled. You have to assemble everything yourself. Right now, we're gonna start the assembly process and show you guys exactly how easy it is to assemble this thing. I'm not thinking that it is anything complicated because there's only a couple of pieces to really piece together, and it also comes with a manual which you can visually see exactly where the pieces go and everything that you need to know to properly put this thing together. Now there is George over here. He volunteered to assemble this thing. He's tightening up the first leg here. This thing is pretty self-explanatory. Basically, like these bolts, just, you know, you got 3 and then they screw in like that real nicely. And so far we've pretty much built out all the legs here. George is finishing up the last one here now. And then basically these right here, he basically attached these things in here, because what this does is this creates a base foundation for the lid. Here we go. George just requested some handles, so I'm giving it to him right here. One goes on this side, another one goes on this side. You got that tiny little bolt right there. Once you complete the assembly, you just want to make sure that you tighten all the screws so that way everything is holding up real well. And I guess the last piece of this is attaching the handle here, so that way it's ready to be put on top. All right, we're gonna be carrying this thing now all the way in the back. Now we're gonna build up this fire here and test this whole thing out. Not only just the fire, but I'm gonna be bringing out a meat here too, so I'll show you guys the quality of this whole thing. Today we're gonna cook something like a Greek style souvlaki. I already got these pork pieces chopped up here. We're gonna be using this pork. Give it a little slap. We're gonna take the meat, cut this in half, because this is going on a metal stick. Before we start marinating this thing, you have to chop them down into cubes. And last one right here. Ah, nice big fat piece. Toss them in a bowl. We're gonna remove this fat here. You don't want that fat in there. Just a little bit, not too much. Now you want to have a nice fat pieces like this.
Currently salivating right now while I'm looking at this meat. Okay, look at this angle. This is a wrong angle. Look at this.
It's gonna be too much for both of us, so I'm just gonna save the rest of this meat. Toss the last ones in here. For the marination, you're gonna need 2 lemons. You squeeze that juice out of that lemon. Second one. Usually it's good to lemonize the whole board here. Pour the lemon juice on top of your meat. 4 cloves of garlic. Chop it down like this. This gives it a nice flavor. And then you sprinkle that on top of this meat. Sprinkle up some olive oil on top of this. Black pepper, oregano leaves, a little bit of a garlic powder, a little bit of a thyme, and a little bit of an onion powder. Last ingredient here is gonna be some salt and 1 spoon of mustard. A little bit of the Stella. Pork loves some beer. And a little bit of organic honey. And now you just rub this whole thing in there nicely. Look at that meat right there, fully absorbed. You want to put this in the fridge for a couple of hours. Meantime, while our meat is absorbing everything, we're gonna take a shot of a nice little peanut butter tequila here. If you haven't tried this, you're missing out. This is a one of its kind peanut butter tequila. Comes from straight from Look guys, I know I am promoting this bottle here. I'm not getting paid by these guys, but this thing is great, seriously. Cheers.
Cheers.
Obviously it's dark outside. These guys have been keep putting more wood on here. You have to wait for this fire to die down a little bit because you don't want to have flaming hot fire hitting the meat like this. These are my Ukrainian swords. We're gonna start us off with onion. Goes as our base foundation on this. Push this down. Then you grab the meat. One hard, one soft. Then you seal it with an onion on top. There you go, my friends. That's how it's supposed to look. And we're gonna put it on the side here like this. Same process, the big one on the bottom. We're gonna top this one off with the onion. There we go, look at this. For this one, we're gonna take over this side. And oh man, this is starting to look real nice. Zach, smell this, bro. Look at that perfection right there. I like to add just a tiny bit of olive oil across. Oh, this thing's gonna make it toasty. The other side as well. Flip it over. Put up with some more lemon. Then you gotta take the pita bread and you gotta put it on top like this for a few minutes. This is ready. Take a look at this. Look at that texture. This is amazing. Now we're just Greek style. Chop it down. Dude, I know.
Better than that.
Here's the finished product, guys. Look at that. We're gonna go tenderize this thing and eat it all. I'll see you guys in my next video.